the Cold War, an uneasy peace. So, part two, we're going to talk about the U.S. policy of containment, which is going to guide American foreign policy for 45 years. Truman Doctrine. So, Truman takes over as president after Franklin Roosevelt dies near the end of World War II.
If you come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. If you're here to make war, we surrender.
Truman is going to be the person to decide to use the atomic bomb on Japan to end World War II. And he's going to be the leader immediately following World War II. And it's under him that the U.S. adopts a plan of containment to stop the spread of communism.
You can only hope to contain it. There you go.
So the United States wasn't going to invade the Soviet Union to defeat communism where it already was, but they were going to actively prevent new nations from falling to communism. The idea behind the Truman Doctrine was to give economic and military support to any country rejecting communism. First countries to receive aid are Turkey and Greece. These two countries are incredibly important strategically. As you see on the map, they control access to the Black Sea. And it's from the Black Sea that the Soviet Union has year-round access to the world's oceans. Most of the Soviet coastline is on the northern part where shipping is blocked for many parts of the year. So
Rodrigo.
these warm weather ports and located in the Black Sea are incredibly vital to the Soviet Union. And so by encircling the Soviet Union, they were able to really prevent the spread of communism. And so Greece and Turkey become some of the first successes of this policy of containment. Part of the Truman Doctrine is the Marshall Plan. The idea behind it was that instead of the United States demanding money be paid back to the United States for fighting World War II, the United States would actually give money to Western European countries rebuilding after World War II. This included not just the countries that had fought alongside the United States, but the countries that the United States had been fighting, including Germany.
In 1945, the people of Europe struggled to rebuild following the war.
Loser. Shut up, Simpson.
To ease this crisis, President Truman promised relief.
American tax dollars will help our allies who fought so poorly and surrendered so readily.
This plan was controversial at the time because, again, it involved giving money to former enemies of the United States, people who literally a year or two ago had been directly killing Americans. We were now going to give aid to. But when communism takes over Czechoslovakia, that really pushed Congress to act. And so the plan was approved. Here you can see the massive amount, the hundreds of millions, and in some cases, billions of dollars that were given to countries. And again, these were countries that we were fighting with, like the United Kingdom and France. It was also countries that we've been fighting against, like West Germany and Italy. With the success of the Marshall Plan, preventing communism from spreading further west into Europe, Stalin turned his attention to the city of Berlin. So, starting in 1948, the United States, Britain, and France withdrew their forces from West Germany. They did this to allow their zones to form one country, the new country of West Germany. And so here you see a map of West and East Germany. Again, note the city of Berlin, firmly in East Germany. Again, that is split. And so the city of West Berlin, the western half, is part of West Germany. So the Soviets are upset with the formation of West Germany. Stalin feels like this is betraying the promise.
No. I'll be your friend. No. Oh, you're mean.
That the Allies had made at Yalta, that Germany would be divided. In response, Stalin cut off land and water traffic into West Berlin. The idea was to basically dare the Allies to invade East Germany to provide supplies to West Berlin. The United States and Great Britain do instead of invading, is they flew planes over East Germany. Technically speaking,
you are technically correct. The best kind of correct.
That could be construed as an act of war. They were violating the airspace of a sovereign nation. But the Soviets and the East Germans were unwilling to shoot down any American or British plane to start World War III. And so for 11 months, British and American forces dropped supplies over the city of Berlin, and this kept the city of Berlin able to function. And after 11 months, Stalin eventually gave up and allowed traffic to go back in and out of the city of West Berlin. So this was, again, some of the successes the United States had in containing communism.
Yeah!